Okay, let's talk basic and more experienced Infernity combos. Sup, I'm ready for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Now, sometimes you're going to get a hand clock full of monsters. You know, that's something that you're going to experience with Infernities once every now and then. Instant Fusion's actually something that helps. Like, you usually don't want to have too many monsters in your hand, but sometimes, again, you can't. You gotta deal with it. So you summon the Street Patrol, you play the Instant Fusion, and you go for the Dark Flare. That's pretty basic. Or you go for whatever level 4 you have, right? That's pretty basic. Now, if you're lucky to have your Street Patrol inside of your deck and you didn't draw it, then you want to send that Street Patrol to the graveyard to send the other Street Patrol. That's pretty basic, Ryu. I understand that. But if you don't, you could send her, and then you can grab another monster named Archfiend. But you only want to do that if you don't have tons of monsters in your hand. And that's why you run Dark Refer and Armageddon Knight to people who are new to Infernities or just trying to pick up the deck. You don't want to play a high level of monsters because you will draw them. You will draw them. Okay, Archfiend Heresy uses. Let's talk about that real quick. So when she's destroyed or sent to the graveyard, Lava Lull Chain, you just send her through Lava Lull Chain's effect from the deck, or Dark Refer, Armageddon Knight, you're going to get a search, and your search is always going to be the Archfiend. We don't really run anything else for that. So when you do, you want to make sure you have the Street Patrol in the graveyard. When you do, you can banish the Street Patrol, summon it, get effect when you're handless. This deck runs on handless, and so do almost Fables. Fables almost do, it depends, but Fables, not really to that point. Okay, the big change to Infernities, and this is the one I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood setup. Okay, is the Soul Charge and the Launcher. Now, pretty much you could drop 3 freaking level 8s. Say you just top deck Soul Charge, and all you really need in the graveyard is this, and this, or that. You just need him in the graveyard. Doesn't really matter. As long as you have him in the graveyard, you're perfectly good to go. So, what if we only have him, Ryu? Okay, play Soul Charge, pay 1,000, bring him back, right? Now, what you normally want to do is search out this. Now, if he's in your, he's not going to be in your hand if you're just top decking. Or you want to search out this. But it depends on the situation. You're not going to have Battle Phase, so you want to keep that in mind. When playing Soul Charge, you're not going to have Battle Phase. So the best option with Archfiend here is search out another Archfiend. Now, you're not going to be able to, unless you're able to special them and you have Street Patrol in the graveyard, you're not going to be able to, search again. If you're able to search again, you're getting Launcher without question. Then you go, Lava Lull Chain. And then you, send, but you send, and then you get Necromancer, and you get another search, and you just keep it for days, and you just keep going on that. But if you don't have that, that's perfectly fine. Just normal summon him, and overlay. And what you usually want to overlay to, and this is why I tell people, Direwolf is still such a good card. You can play Direwolf to break their setup. You could play 101 to suck up. You could play the Extinction Knight to blow up the field. You do not want to play this off a Soul Charge. I'm sorry. Unless it's really late in the game. So these are pretty much the 3 you want to go into to take care of anything that's on the board that's giving you an issue. Most of the time it's going to be Extinction Knight to basically pull back the game in your favor, because that's what Infernity's do. And that's why Extinction Knight is so good in here. Now, if you do have the 3 card setup, or even just 2 of the cards, which is, I'm trying to find it here, it should be on top of my graveyard. Okay, it's on top of the graveyard pile. Alright, we have these 2 in the graveyard. If you have these, these 2, that kind of sucks. You always want to have him in the graveyard in some form or fashion. Now, if you have all 3, you're going to just basically pay 2,000. Always pay 2,000, and just bring these 2 guys back. Set anything you have. If you don't have anything set, you can actually just go into him, but it depends what's in your deck, so that's why I do it this way first. Then search out, special the Archfiend, search for the Archfiend, pretty much get the Launcher. Triple, go into the Synchro, man, go into that Synchro, and when you do, you want to either go into Infernity, Doom Dragon if you have the barrier down, but if not, Void is a great option. Now, the reason for Void, because you search out Launcher if you still have Launcher in your deck, is because you can negate anything that's going to get in your way that's not a counter trap. Now play the Launcher, rinse and repeat, you get that, and then special back, get another search, Infernity Break this time, or Barrier if it's still in your deck, and go for Doom Dragon. And Doom Dragon now clears the field of anything in your way. Right? You're like, great, that's awesome, right? let's go in a little something heavier. Now, if you have two of these guys, right, in your graveyard, and your opponent banished out your Archfiend, this will happen. Play the soul charge on the two of them, overlay to a Leviair. I'm like looking for my Leviair. Get the Leviair, detach, get the Archfiend search. Now, this next point, you know, depends what's in your graveyard, but pretty much you could just, like, if you have a, say you have Avenger in the graveyard, right? He's been sitting there, and this obviously is in your graveyard this time. Just play the launcher, go into Catastor, use effect, search again, just get another break. It's pretty hilarious. One of the, like, first moves you usually make, and it's pretty consistent, you'll see in the duel videos as I post them, is that, you know, you usually get him in the graveyard or something, and then you have, like, basically your hand will start looking something like this, and you're like, well, that's kind of fugly, Ryu. Yeah, it kind of is, until you realize what you could do with it. It's something like this, and then, like, Upstart or whatnot, whatever it is. It's usually, like, 2 spells. Doesn't really matter to say these. Set them, play the Instant Fusion. I believe I did this wrong. Yes, I did this wrong. Okay. Oh wait, no, I didn't. Okay. Go into Lava Lull Chain. Right? That Lava Lull Chain starts everything. Lava Lull Chain sends, and then you send the other Street Patrol. Banish the first Street Patrol, you won't get Search. Banish the second Street Patrol, you do get Search. Grab Launcher, go into the second Lava Lull Chain. And then from second Lava Lull Chain, send Necromancer to the graveyard, and then bring him back. With Necromancer, get Search for, like, Barrier, and then just sit there and look pretty for a turn, and then just go off like crazy, because you're going to send for another Lava Lull Chain, and then, you know, just go from there. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. But those are pretty, you know, pretty basic and some advanced. I mean, some of the loops will take like 20-30 minutes, I'm not going to lie to you. So you'll be clicking really quickly to actually finish them off. Like, if, you know, you go like this, turn 1, and then you have, just say your hand looks something like this, I guess. Or we're just, for the sake of the video, we're going to say it looks something like this, right? See that reinforcements of the army, too strong. And, I guess Street Patrol, because I like feeling my monster in my hand. So, you start off with that, and then go to Dark Grapher. You'll see how I play it out in dual videos. Like, I make sure my hand's shown on Dead Pro for that reason. So, send another Street Patrol, because that's usually what you want to do, is send another Street Patrol, right? So you send the 2 Street Patrols, make sure they're in the graveyard. Play the launcher, discard, and then if you really want to get stacky, play Instant Fusion. And then from Instant Fusion, you're obviously going to go into Lava Lull Chain and send that. Obviously camera didn't pick that up, but right there. So, I guess we went for Lava Lull Chain somehow. It's not on the board. Losing my all over. Alright, so now your graveyard usually is like this. Like, you know, if you get super god tier setup, it's going to look like that. So what you can actually do now is banish it out. Get your search. And at this point, you pretty much want to just, like, go your trap lineup and go, what do I want? I want the barrier. The barrier is the first thing you usually want to search out. Play the launcher. Get Necromancer and Avenger. Alright. I'm going to sync these 2 up for a Catastor. Now, you're probably going, well, Ryu, why would we go for Catastor when we want to have the level 8s and the spam power? You know, why don't I go Void or something? Oh, trust me. It's going to get mean. And then special, get another search for like an Infernity break, and then just sit there and look pretty for a turn, because if they take this out, no issue. They take this out, no issue. And then you have the 2 negations. So you start off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the board, and then as long as Necromancer is not taken out, or even if it is, just go Archfiend Harris, and then you still have the other Street Patrol in the graveyard to do things, and then you get this back as like a level 3 tuner. And you could just go into, like, you can go into Leviair off Archfiend Harris and just go from there and go, like, Lava Lull Chain, stack your deck with another Archfiend. The deck is still amazing. If you guys want to see dual videos, just let me know. Like, tons of dual videos. I will do them left and right. I'm ready for the TheYugiohCouncil. If you like this combo video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And make sure to leave a comment. I'll catch you next video. Peace.